Nothing happening.
Okay, wow, that looks really out of focus. Can you tell me if that's in focus?
Put your hand on it, please. It's a little grainy, but not too bad. If you really want the focus fixed, I'll have to go, I'll have to take her with it.
How's that?
A little better. Put your hand on it. A little better. Still a little fuzzy. But we might not be able to do anything about that, dear.
That looks pretty clear on Elgato. Alright, we'll go with that one. Okay, sorry guys, we're running behind. We ran to the store real quick. And it's starting to storm. So I'm a little behind getting set up here. Okay, so for anyone new, we are needle felting along with Bob Ross's painting tutorials. We've followed along painting with them before, but we're doing needle felting now because why not? We have done all of season 3 up to this point, needle felting. The link to the tutorial in full is going to be pinned in the chat for anyone that would like to watch the tutorial without interruption, because we have it paused and muted down in the bottom corner. Now, when we left off yesterday, we were working on adding a middle row of tree. This row of tree isn't exactly in the painting, but between the mist and all, I thought it was a row of trees. Apparently it's not. But ours is just gonna have this weirdly misty light purple in between, and then we're gonna have like a mid-range purple coming down in front of it. So that's how we're gonna handle this. Oop. I'm making slow progress on episode 11's speed felt. I'm spilling water everywhere. Husband's gonna be trying to get some work done on episode 10 this week. I know we still owe you guys that one. We're working on it. They take a little bit of time to edit. Alright. No, actually, let me have that back. And it's definitely a water on the hand day. That fluff didn't want to cooperate. Okay, so we're just kind of making our teardrop. Which one comes up from the ground? The stalagmite or the stalactite? Husband.
Stalagmite, I think.
Alright, so they kind of look like that. Right now, they just kind of look like blobs that are flipping everybody off, but you know. It is what it is. So we'll see if we can get this color of tree at the very least wrapped up here. I've got plans for 2 more. Excuse me. It's that kind of day. I've got plans for 2 more rows. And we did not realize that it was Walmart Shareholders Week. I thought that was in May. I thought they had already done that. I thought it was done. But now I think I understand why our friend took off from Walmart for the next week. Unless it was just happenstance. Because they usually host the convention in Fayetteville. And it was starting to get a wee bit busy when we left. So we ended up running to Walmart today instead of Sam's. Just grabbing some water that I dripped on the desk there. And I had a spot on this guy that was a little thinner than I necessarily wanted. So we'll go ahead and start to fill that in. Oh my goodness. Alright, so we only have a couple more trees to really go in this section. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 more on this row. So like I said, we do our little fluff snake, and then the bottom of it, I just kind of grab the little tail, and whatever end is a little bit more round, and use that as the bottom of our sort of teardrop idea shaped tree here. Did we still have orange, or should we have gotten one?
I'm not entirely sure.
I think we need a new orange.
We might.
Oh, did you check the rice?
Yeah, you've got 2 full bags and a little bit left in a third.
Okay, so not quite yet. It's up to you if you want to grab one when we head out again. It might take me a little bit to get through that, so if you want to wait till closer to the end of the month, that's fine. Depends on how much rice we have this month.
How much rice we go through.
Or, you know, you could think of them of like bowling pin trees. That too could also be a comparable shape. I don't know how much it's gonna storm here. We don't normally lose our power, so So I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. But we'll see. And lately it's hardly thundered on the few thunderstorms we've had roll through. And one of the outside cats was just sitting in the rain, like Momo wouldn't come in because we went out to go pee real quick, and I'm like, "Are you coming? The door is here." And he just stood there staring. I'm like, "What are you looking at?" And I saw Nom Nom's outside in the driveway just sitting there in the rain. I'm like, "Buddy, it's raining on you." And he's like, "Meow." Like, get up on the porch. My goodness. But we did get back just in time. We were just seeing it starting to lightning in the distance a little bit on the drive home. And we don't have a garage, but we have a little roof over our car on the one side of our driveway, so it's like, okay, we're good. At least to get the groceries in. I had a little bit of a thin spot there. And I'm filling in some of the thin spots because I don't know how much the next row of trees is really going to cover. So it's kind of easier to just deal with it now instead of later. This one might need a little bit of filling in as well. We'll see. So I hope everybody's Monday got off to a good start. I'm just hoping that this rain helps with some of the allergies here because it's turning into a rough day. Our whole trip through Walmart, I was trying not to sneeze. Getting the burny, itchy nose. I was like, pre-sneeze indicator. I think it would have been better if I had just sneezed, but I was being a little stubborn about it. I'm not going to worry too much about how lumpy and messy this looks in here. It might not be coming across the camera, but it's a little unfinished, shall we say, unpolished. So I am using acrylic yarn. Traditionally, most people use roving. Acrylic yarn you can use just as well if you have a wool allergy. It does take a little bit more prep, because like the roving you can just buy in its fluff form. Right, but it's pre-yarn, whatever, twisted state, whatever you want to call it. So, it's just, you know, the yarn that you'd get from the craft store. And then you get a pet grooming brush. I believe it's called a sticker or a slicker. I can't remember which one it is. Something with an S. It looks like a brush of doom. So it's got these little angled teethies that they feel sharp if you touch them at a certain degree, like a certain angle on your fingers. Kind of used for getting the undercoat off your double-coated dogs. You use that to untwist your yarn back into its pre-yarn twisted state. And it works pretty well. Now, if you're doing figurines, I've seen some blogs say that you're going to have an easier time if you at least use a core, an inner core of roving, because the acrylic yarn doesn't like to stick to itself so much. I don't know, because I've never really made, well no, we did make the Marvin here was solid roving. He's got a little tiny roving core. I don't know. I've used polyfill, and that's worked okay for me. That's gonna be a U-call, maybe experiment with the roving core first, and then go from there. But we made the husband's Christmas present with a base of polyfill, so and I didn't end up doing any armature wire in him. This year's Christmas present, I'm not sure if I'm gonna need to do any armature yet. That might depend on how big we make it. a short guy there. Oh, I guess he's not too short. And we are using the thicker crafting felt this time instead of the classic thin thickness, the standard thickness, the standard thinness. I grabbed one that said it was premium, and it's about as thick as our finished pieces get when we're using the thin piece, or close to it. I don't know how I feel about it yet. It is a little bit thicker, so my arm's a little bit more tired. Stabbing through it, like I can feel definitely feel the old shoulder and arm muscles working. Trying to get through all of our fluff layers. Oh, there's some thunder. Beginning to think that was gonna be it. Alright, so we're gonna have another guy sitting there. So that should be fine there. That's just a little bit of water I'm putting on my palm. Just to get the fiber to come together a little bit easier. And I also find that it gives my palm a little bit more friction when I'm trying to shape our fluff so it doesn't just go flying out of my hand. So remember, if you're having a lot of resistance, or you've probably got a lot of fluff there, so you might have to go a little bit slower. And if you're still having a lot of resistance, try to move to another spot next to where you're trying to stab in, just so you don't snap your needle. Snapped needles are no fun. Wow, even the traffic got quiet for a second. That's kind of eerie for this time of day. There it goes. I was gonna say, it's raining out. That traffic should be all sorts of extra loud here. Okay, so I think that will do for our T-rows. So let's go ahead and we'll put that bag to the side here. Alright, so let me check my noties here. We've got lilac next. So is that this one? Yep. This is sort of like a mid-range. It's still like a lighter purple, but it's darker than the tea rose. It's a little less pink than the tea rose. But you can still kind of see it's a different shade. Alright, let's get a little bit of water here. Figure out where we want the line to be on this guy. I'm not gonna take it too far down. I might just kind of do it right there. Just have it overlap. Mr. Fly, I don't know where you came from, but you need to go back there pronto. Because the knee's not having it. Because I still have to get into here a row of green. So I think we'll do this one a little bit shorter, maybe. Let's see what we can do here. We can see, yeah, we can see that's a different shade there. Okay, so I'm gonna gently pull that guy up. Doesn't look too... Alright, that's just water. That'll dry. So we're okay. It should dry. Okay, I'm just gonna tug that out just a little bit. And I've got a slight gap right in here that I want to get filled in. Was that it? Was that it for our thunderstorm? I mean, I'm glad it's raining. That means we don't have to water. Those thirsty, thirsty elephant ears. See, I've got a little bit of gray Actually, you might not be able to see it. I've got just a little bit of gray peeking through there. I don't know how much of an issue that's going to be later. But let's at least get our background color laid in here. 'Cause why not? Looks like all of the body bots are here today. Welcome to all the body bots. Stream Elements, Ko-fi bot, MooBot. Say the gang's all here. Alright, well, let's start with tacking that side down. And let's see if we can try to get a semi-straight line going here. Like, I know it's probably not gonna be perfect, but if we can at least get it close to being somewhat. So this is gonna be this color, and then I've got that green color that I need to bring in there towards the ends. So we'll get this guy put in. Now this shade is this is gonna be Big Twist value lilac. Sorry, I was looking at the UPC because I cut the barcodes off of the wrappers around the yarn, and it usually has the color number or the color name and stuff with the UPC, and the paint box yarn I have to write the color name on. I have to look it up because all it does is give me a color number. Big Twist value has the color name with the UPC number. On the label. And the labels are much different in width as well. Paint box is a smaller ball of yarn, so the label's not quite as wide. Alright, that's mostly straight. I know it doesn't really look like it. because of this weirdness that we've got going on here. But, because we've got it like thicker up here. But the one that really has to be the straightest here is gonna be our washed out green, our olive color that's gonna be in the front to indicate that it is closer than these guys back here. Okay, that's not too bad now. However, I do want to get a little more of this lilac before we dive in on our trees. Momo, no fussing. Buddy, it's storming out. I'm sorry this displeases you. But there is lightning in the area. You cannot go and sit outside in the rain and eat grass. That's just, it's not happening, my guy. And I'm sorry this upsets you. Alright. So just kind of want to fill in this section between where this new purple is going in and the tea rose. Because there was a little bit of our under gray shining through. And it's just easier to take care of that now. Than it is going to be to deal with it later. Okay. Let's get a little bit more fluff and stuff. See, it didn't even move in my hand. So I have to do a little bit of the water sometimes. It's just easier. Alright, so just getting that edge there, a little bit more on that last tree. It just looked like it needed a little bit more attention there. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll brush that all down on the back. So it does look like it's a little bowed here, but that could just be the way the tape is sitting. Like, I feel like I've got this side a little more on the tape line than I do this side. But, you know, as long as it's straight-ish, it's really all that's gonna, oh, dang it, super matter. Alright. Got a drop of water there. I'm actually surprised there's not more thunder happening, because there is lightning on the map. They've got severe thunderstorm watch issued southern part of the state. That's a little much, actually. Can we, like, say half of that? What's half of that look like? Let's try that guy. And see how this piece does. I don't have a whole lot of pressure on my finger. I'm just kind of gently resting that there. Trying to keep all of it from getting sucked into the barbs on our needle too soon. Alright, so we can kind of see the difference in color between these two. Can tell one's more of a pinky grade, or definitely a pink purple mix. Okay. Let's see what we can do with this one. We can do anything with it. Sometimes that's easier said than done here. So I can feel that I'm not going all the way through, or it doesn't feel like we're going very far through on this layer of fluff, and as long as it attaches somewhere, then I'll be happy with that. That's really all I can be happy with. Okay, I'm not gonna sweat the space in between these two. Like, that's fine, because we're gonna have that bit of green coming down in through here to finish out our last row of tree. So I think that's probably more than fine there. Because then I will lay in the green here. And I might like just layer up the green to fill in any weird spots. You go over there. All right. So we'll get this guy. Sorted here. Now there won't be a stream tomorrow. Tomorrow is a dark channel day. Since I need to do some editing. And I highly doubt anyone wants to watch me in my weird way of editing stuff. Besides, I think I can move a little bit faster if I can put something on in the background. Plus, I don't know what the husband's plans are for tomorrow. I think we have to go to the store tomorrow anyway. The other store that we didn't go to today. Or at least we think we might be trying to do that. Of course, that could change between now and then. Yeah, that's a little too much fluff and stuff there. So no matter when I do these fluff snakes, one end always ends up getting a pointier tip on them. I don't know why, it's just how it works with me. Alrighty. Get this guy popped into here. Okay. Pop that guy up. Let's make sure we're looking okay back here. We seem to be. Alright. Now, I don't necessarily think we're going to be getting to the olive color trees today. Oh. It looks like south of us is getting in on this severe thunderstorm action. That's fine, they can keep that. I'd rather not. Because our storm seems to be trying to make up its mind what it wants to do. Seems to be struggling to stay a thunderstorm at the moment. So it might be a good day to be weather aware. Actually, every day is a good day to be weather aware. Especially if you're like heading to the beach and stuff. You might want to get some lightning alert apps. Because you don't want to be out on the beach in the middle of a lightning storm. That's no bueno. You need to know when it's time to go. You do not want to make yourself a lightning rod out there. That's no joke. Alright, I just finished tapping in this guy. Oh, yeah, we can kind of see this row coming in here. I mean, should we have reversed it and did this color and then that color? Maybe. But that's alright. And that'll be okay. I mean, we're not really shooting for super realistic or... Oh, there's some thunder, or like a really tight identical one to Bob's. We're just trying to kinda see if we can get the idea across. Was that Num Nums that just meowed?
I thought it was he like making noise at birds.
Oh, it could have been. Him or cow. Little makes the cutest damn noises. And she's watching the birds at the bird feeder. Hi. Who just touched me? Someone touched me. Who was it? You have a phantom cat? I have no idea who just touched my leg. Oh, it's Cow. Cow has that six-pack a day smoker's meow at times. Unless it was just the way my pants touched my leg, but it really felt like a cat moved and hit me there. Alright. So we got the tea rose finished. So that's good. Now we are moving on to our lilac here. We got a baseline worked out here for where we want the lilac to sit. And I mean, we could be running the green at the same time as we move across, but I think it's easier to deal with one color at a time in this case. Just be a little bit less chance of color contamination. It's easy to get fluff mixed up together. So if we don't have to worry about that, I mean, we'll probably have to worry about it later when we're doing grasses and stuff, but for now, might as well leave it as one less thing to deal with. No, that's probably a little much. Let's pull a little bit off of that. Didn't need to be quite so robust there. So we'll get that guy put into there. Do you know if she's still awake?
I have no idea why.
Can you see so I can find out if I'm supposed to breadcrumb her chicken wings that aren't getting the sauce on them?
She's never had breadcrumbs on her chicken wings on.
Well, I know when she fries them, she like flours them.
I'm pretty sure you can just bake them on.
Alright. So yeah, that's probably pretty good there. All right. Next bit. See, I don't know if this is enough. It might be. This guy is gonna kind of hang out here. I'm not sure. I think I might add an. Oh, do we want to add one there? That was a good sized gap. Like, I kind of want to, I mean, we're gonna have the green in there, but that's a pretty far gap on that. Maybe a shorter one? Quite possibly. I mean, the other one was a skinnier gap where I could kind of justify the green kind of coming in there and filling that. This one, however, a little bit wider of a gap than I wanted to leave. Yeah, because I think the green, we can take care of that one with Hi Cow. Meow. What can I do for you? You know you're not supposed to be up here. He knows he's not supposed to be up here. Try to break the habit of them climbing on my desk, because you never know what we're gonna have out. We could have the hot glue gun out, we could have the wood burning tool out, we could have the heat gun out, like, we could have paint everywhere, like, try to discourage that where possible. Don't want them thinking it's okay. That is going to be a real bad habit for them to get into. It's still thundering. That's quite a rolling one. There's a bit of a bigger gap again right there, like this one is. To let it be and let the green fix it, or to slap some more. See, like, I don't want to unnecessarily put the purple in there, because if the green remedies it, then it's more layers of fluff that we're trying to stab through that we didn't necessarily need in the way. How to handle that? Because now with these guys, the gap's getting a bit wider as we are coming on down here. I think for my brain's sake, I might have to put at least a short one in there. Because my brain's like, excuse me, that's too wide of a gap. Like, even for the green to fix her. That one I think I can let go. This one I don't know if I can. Just the way my brain's wired, it's like, no. What we're not doing is that. Okay. I'll get that. Put into there. Okay. Let's see, that side's a little bit more airy. So let's see about tacking this guy down here. Not sure if that was thunder or not. It might have been. Okay. So that's not too bad coming in there. You alright?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's get a little bit more water. Alright, shall we see what Windows 11 thinks is so important for me to know? Like right this second? Should we? Wait, what? No, that I do need to know about. What? When did this happen? Seriously? Why is everything being recalled? Like, all of a sudden, everything's fucking contaminated. Okay. We seem to not be on the list. But I said that to the husband anyhow. Sorry, I didn't hear anything about a cucumber recall. And that does affect us, because the pigs get cucumbers. We eat the cucumbers, or at least I do. Our cucumbers haven't started to come in yet. just kind of starting to see some flowers on our cucumber plants, and I've seen a couple flowers on our pea vines. The only thing that's really started to come in at all, oh, and we have a couple tiny tomatoes that haven't ripened yet. But the endive has started coming up to where that's slightly edible for the pigs. I know they shouldn't have that much endive, but a couple tiny leaves here and there should be good enough. And my bell peppers haven't had much progress. They're little tiny bits coming up out of their bucket. They're not too tall there. They're barely a suggestion of a bell pepper plant. Don't know why they're, feels like they're taking forever to get going. I think it's been at least a month, if not a little bit longer, since we've planted them. I haven't fertilized those guys, and they're still taking their sweet time. So I'm thinking it might be about time to re-fertilize everybody. I think it said once a month during the growing season, and I only did like half the recommended amount. Because I didn't have the right size water container to measure that out in. We can see those going in off the other ones, at least on the camera we can. So that's not so bad. Oh, this might be too much fluff. For this one, we'll have to see here. Ooh, that's some thunder. No doubt about that. That was some robusty thunder. Still going. That made the walls shake on that last little bit there. I might have to load up Howl's Moving Castle if I can find it in the next couple of days. How about I put you there? You're a little robust for that smaller location. So I think we'll kind of do the same sort of thing with the green, where we fill out the flat and then put the tree over top of it, because then down in here I'm gonna have like some grassies coming up to cover the very base here, I think. Is how we're gonna approach that. Haven't seen too many Studio Ghibli films. I've seen Spirited Away. That was probably the first one I saw. I've seen Kiki's Delivery Service. That's a little thin there, isn't it? Just at the very base, it thinned out there. So Howl's, no, I've seen Spirited Away. I've seen Kiki's Delivery Service. I've seen Howl's Moving Castle. I've seen My Neighbor Totoro. I've seen Porco Rosso. I've not seen anything else. I've heard good things about Ponyo, I think. And Princess something or other, Mononoke or something like that. But I've not actually seen them myself. Alright. Okay. I just need a little bit. I just need a little guy. And some more fluff here. And sometimes flip your fluff around. See what end looks better. Which piece looks more... Which end of it would look more like a tree to you? I sent you a thing.
I don't think we're on it. I didn't see it.
Okay. Sometimes you can better understand more quickly than I can. Okay. Excuse me. Felt that coming. I was like, no, we're not gonna sneeze again, are we? I haven't had the chance to get any... Well, no, that's not true. I had some... Excuse me. I had some Benadryl at like 4 o'clock this morning. I want to say 3:30, something like that. Okay. I don't want to completely hide that other tree back there, but at the same time, trees do get unevenly layered. And sometimes some guys get overlapped. Oh my goodness gracious. Give me 1 second. I'll be right with you. Alright, sorry about that. I had to blow my nose or it was going to be Snuffle City. And no one wants to be in Snuffle City. I certainly don't. No, I did get some Benadryl earlier today. Okay. I have a scratch on my arm. I have no idea where the hell it came from. Pretty good scrape. Excuse me. No idea. I don't remember doing anything. Unless a doggo got me by accident. Are Are you okay? What am I hearing? Oh, he's in the kitchen. I wasn't sure if I was hearing Zuzu being yippy. Kind of sounded like a dog being yippy, but like at a distance. So I'm not 100% sure. That's very stiff. I will say that. Alright. What time is it? Alright, we're gonna end up stopping a little early today because I have to do something for my mom for her dinner. Something extra for her dinner tonight. Excuse me. So we won't be going the full, like, right up to 4 today. Oh. So this one might actually be our... Well, I don't know. Do we think we can get this last bit of tree in time? I mean, we're so close to finishing this color. We probably can. That's an interesting experience, hearing Backstreet Boys songs on a string quartet. Interesting. We also are doing game night with my mom tonight. We didn't end up doing it last night because our adopted work son ended up wanting to do some kind of zombie game with the husband last night. I don't remember what it was. Left 4 Dead, Dead by Daylight. What the hell did you play last night? He's not even in here. Dying Light, that's what it was. Oh, my sinuses? I would like new sinuses, please. as mine are being a rebellious teenager that is just in their angry all the time phase. And I'm kind of sort of over it. And I just don't have the patience anymore. Because now it seems like we're lost in Snuffletown. Our GPS is just like, I don't know, man, keep turning right. And we're just stuck in Snuffletown now. There's road construction, there's roads closed. I have no idea how we got into Snuffletown. They like closed the roads when we entered, so now we can't get back out. We're gonna have to talk to Snuffle Maps because, oh my goodness. Let's see, I think we might be able to get these last couple of trees in after all. Like, I'd hate to bail out when we only have just a couple more. Very thundery. Whoop. It's getting more thundery now than it did when we had the big orange and red blob over us. Just kind of fascinating. Excuse me. I don't know what that was. I don't know if that was a weird crack of thunder or if something fell outside. Or it could have been something the husband was doing. I don't know what he's up to. Did you make that bang?
Which bang?
I don't know, it was like a dull, thuddy bang right after the thunder a second ago.
Not knowingly. I don't see anything outside though.
Like it was reminiscent of something hitting the porch. So let's get this guy. Though I do find it fascinating, it's thundering more now than it did earlier when the storm was right over top of us. But it looks like this might be clearing out.
Well, it's still plenty dark out.
By this evening. Well, looking at the radar, this doesn't look like it's gonna be an all-nighter. This guy tapped in, and then we got one more to go on this color. Alright, one more tree to go here. That's not enough fluff. And that's a little too much. Let's go with that amount. See how that amount does us. That actually might be a skosh too much too. Oh good, we're just spilling the water everywhere. That's fine. Water can get cleaned up fairly easily. Without too much trouble. Although maybe the sound I heard was a cat launching at the window with the birds and the bird feeder. That is very possible. We think a couple of the gackles were doing it on purpose. Fucking with the cats. I'm just trying to clean that edge up just a little bit more. Seemed like it was getting a little rambunctious there. All right. So that, I feel like we might not be depositing as much color down, or maybe that's just an illusion because of the shade that we'd had, but it's not terrible. We've got one more row of trees to go, and we'll pick that up on Sunday. It is a bit of a shorter stream today, I do apologize, but you know, life happened. So we're gonna have a row of like a grayish green tree coming in here, and we'll bring that like up to our line here, and then it's pretty heavy there, it's stiff, it doesn't want to move. There we go. That's a lot of fluff in there. And then we'll start to, after we get that last row of tree in, then we'll move on to working in around our pond and figuring out things from there. So I hope you guys have a good week. Next stream will be on Thursday, migraine permitting, of course, and we'll be back in Coral Island. Friday we might work on Tappy Feet Children's Zoo. This Friday might work on getting that entrance done that we started last week. Saturday we'll be back to working on our little farmy themed painting here, and then Sunday and Monday we'll be back to working on this guy. So I hope everybody has a good week. I will see everyone on Thursday, and until next time, you guys have a good one.